we're gonna just build a REST API. There we'll learn how to build API, simple Express and Node.js, and how we can connect it with the React or Next.js. So both are similar, or any kind of JavaScript just framework. Just first of all, we'll create backend or server with the authentication API and product API. And also we can create like adding reactions, adding just reviews or comments, anything else. This is our initial project. So in this project, we will just set up our project, and in the next video, we will make database. So first of all, I'm gonna just create my project called mkdir, and I'm creating a folder on a desktop directory, and I'm giving Express. Folder name will be just Express and REST API. You can create folder manually, and you can just open it in any just your code editor. Express REST API. Okay, code dot, it will be just opened in our VS Code. Okay, now we are on our folder, and we're just opening terminal, Control Shift back click. Okay, it has just opened terminal. Now you can use Node.js, or so I'm using Barn, and in the whole project I will use Barn and TypeScript. So Barn app, it will just initialize new Node.js project. Sorry, this is not Node.js. So this is like Node.js environment or Express environment to work. Also you can use like Node, and before that, Barn installation process is too much easy. Just check Barn hyphen it is installed or not. Okay, it is just installed, and in my machine Barn current version is 1.1.37. so you can also do this project with Node.js. So I have also installed Node.js, but I will use the Barn because it will give us a lot of benefits and built-in TypeScript features and a lot of things. So npm init, sorry, Barn init y. Okay, it has just generated new Barn project for creating our server environment. So this is the index file, and this is the TypeScript configuration. This is readme file about this project, and this is package.json, like this package name you can change it, and like our this is our main file, but it is not required. You can change it to anything. Okay, so this is our just basic project, and if we would like to run, so barn index.ts, so barn, this is, and our just file name. Okay, so now we'll just change start command. Okay, start script to barn run hyphen wash flag for washing our file every time. No need to start again and again. So this is our exact command. Okay, if you use Node.js, then directly Node.js does not has the TypeScript compiler. Node.js only directly just do this with just JavaScript. So you can switch with the Barn instead of using Node.js. So just now Barn, and this is our start command. Barn start. Okay, it is now washing our file. So this is our file clg. Whenever we make changes, any changes, it is just giving a live output without just restarting server again and again. So that is because we have used wash flag. Okay, this is our just basic server. So now we'll create just modular architecture of our app. So first of all, I need to install some packages. I'm just closing my server by Control C. Barn add Express and type of Express. Okay, this Express and type of Express is just enough for now. Okay, So I'm just installing. Oh, it is very faster. It is very faster and quick. It has just installed on my dependencies. Now I'm going to create a folder called modules. Okay, at first I will just create a folder. For that I'm just importing necessary file and create our fast server express const port is equals to not, we can use dynamic port from our process dot env dot port, or just we'll use 5000 instead. So if we pass dynamically, if you use like process.env file here, and we can pass like port is equals to anything else, whatever you want, like 6000, and it will be just replaced with your and it will, then if you pass manually from your in env file, then it will be worked, and then our port will be just 600, not 500. But if you don't pass this, then it will be just undefined, and our this port will be work. Okay, so const now we just create locates our just fast endpoint or route or get. This is our slash. Whenever user hit on the our base route or main endpoint, request response and response dot json is equals to just message server is up and running. Okay, on our just root directory we are using get method, so this app from this Express, but you can give it just any name, and we just use it for using middlewares or anything else globally. So this is, and now we need to listen our app in our port to access it locally. Port is equals to just, okay, port is equals to PLG, and I'm using backtick. Okay, server running on the port just I'm passing this port dynamically. So benefit of using constant, that we have used this value in single place, constant or variable, we have used this in a single place, and whenever we make any changes in here, and we can also pass it dynamically from this file anywhere where we will just deploy or host our app, and we're just using this variable. Okay, so if we run our server, just npm start or ban start. Okay, our server is just running on the port 6000. That's because we have used port, and that's why our this default port is not working, because this port is now working. So on the just ban latest version, we don't need just process.env or .env configuration manually. We are getting a env variable from env file. Okay, so if we open our this browser and go http localhost, okay, we can use 5000 because most of the time I use this. You can use like 8000, 6000, 7000, or anything else, or like 72, like that, or anything else. Just you can check it out, but some port can be just proxy error, or you can face some error. But most of the time I use this 5000 for server to run locally. Okay, but you can see our just after change port here, it is not reflected on here. So if we make any changes in here, running, okay, now it's just reflected on here. Okay, localhost 5000. Just to give this this URL on the browser, in any browser. This is called http://localhost colon 5000, and make sure that your server is up and running. Okay, now hit. Wow. So how cool is that? We have this get our fast response from our server from this root URL, but if we don't pass anything, it will just return nothing. We have not used anything. You can pass any type of response, like response dot. It can be just post method. Okay, not here. You can use like app.get method so browser only support get method, not any other method. So for secure API only browser, you need to use get method, not any method. So we'll see later. First of all, response dot send, you can use like send. Okay, it is just similar as JSON, like send. You can pass any type of data like that. Okay, so this is some examples like how you can pass data. Like you can pass normal text as JSON or anything else you can want, whatever you want. But if you use JSON here, you must pass data as JSON. So if we pass JSON and if we pass the string, hi. Wow, it is also working. But if we just give it in h1, hi. Oh, it is not working. Okay, so by the way, so this is how you can pass client is just a request in our this URL. You can change it to /API/ anything else. So in our case, this is just for now this API, and is changing this message server up and running. Just look at this. Oh, it is not. So where this is our this endpoint is just /API. It is not our root endpoint or the URL or route. So we need to go /API route. Oh, it is working. But we need on the / directory to understanding our server is working or not. Okay, you can test it here, like what type of method, what type of function you can use, like app dot. If you just scroll down, like app.get method, you can use app.just post method. You can use like put method for updating data, or press method also for updating data, or you can use delete method for, but browser only support. Okay, browser only support get method, not any other method. So this is our root endpoint, but this method is just different. Make sure that for working with the browser, your method must be get method. Okay, so if we just hit, it is not to get method. So browser is trying to get this this endpoint, but it is just return nothing, because this is now browser by default try to get, but now not try to use delete method. So browser does not support delete method. So we need to use get method. Get. Okay. Now working fine. Okay. So this is our first route. This is our first Express server. Now we'll create a folder, and I have created I have created a folder, and I'm just giving I'll create some files and folder called user slash. So suppose we have an API that holds just user related routes like logging, register, like product slash create, or update, delete, or remove submission, or just adding just comments, reactions, or just create blogs or anything else. So suppose we have this is get method. This is now post method, but on real world scenario, you will use database here. You will just post data. You will get data here, and then your function size will be increased. And if you write like product auth related routes in the single file, then product related routes in single file, then blocks related route in single file, then your file size will be increased, or just it will just increased. And then your maintain, it will be just not maintainable and understandable. And if any other or developer is work with you, then they feel not very good in your environment. So for clean our code and clean our just main file, so you should try to clean your main file every time. You can clean your file called with the create separate file, and you can just import your files in here. So I'm just removing it. Okay, you can just keep one or two routes in here, just understanding your server is running on what, like that. This is our base route that's running, server is up and running. Whenever the user is hitting here, they are just understanding, so the server is working. And I have created a new module, and I'll create a new folder in here called user. Also, I'll create a new folder called products. Okay, now product. So now in this folder, in the modules in this folder, we'll keep our necessary files, this necessary files about this user. So we'll keep just related files folders about, and this file folder will be just related to user. We'll keep everything in here, like user dot controllers dot ts. And if we first of all user dot routes dot ts. Okay, so now in this file we'll just take our user related routes in here, not we'll just take user related routes in here, and we'll just import our file. We'll use here as a middleware. So like how we can do this? We can do this by const. Okay, now first we need to import Express. From Express, const user routes is equals to router express dot router. Okay, so Express has a built-in method called router, and it takes some option, but we don't need to pass any option in for now. So user routes, this is an just instance of Express that we are creating just routes for user. So user dot get. So you have all of this method from this Express, something like that, whatever you done in the previously in your main file. So we have all access all of this method in here, exact here. So app dot get like slash now slash user slash register user slash profile. Okay, so you can just give it to any route. You can give it just any route, and we can just give our user related function in here. Okay, it is just a callback. It's request response. So just response dot json. We'll just message and user routes are user routes. Okay, without we can pass just name a web code. Okay, so in our whenever user hit this URL, then we'll get this response from our server. But real world scenario must will get this data from database. So this is not in this video, just to learn how to connect basic server and how it is working, and our just we'll understand our core functionality, what we'll learn in the next few videos. So we have created routes in here, like user related routes. Export, we need to export this. Export default to use these routes in another file because user routes. Okay, before that, if we try to access this slash user slash profile, oh, it is not working. That's because we have just created routes, but this routes is not connected in our main file. It is not connected in our main file or our index file, or you can just give it not index, you can give it any name of this file, but make sure that this file name and your package.json file name is the must similar, otherwise it will not work. Okay, so for that we need to just export this file to use in anywhere in our app. So we'll use it like app dot has a built-in method called use, or the first parameter we can use this prefix whatever we use. So API, okay, just slash, and we'll use user routes. This user routes slash modules slash user routes. Okay, it is just imported. Okay, it is just imported. You can just import it manually and make sure that your path is similar, and after hovering it you are getting this like that. Okay, server is up and running, server is working, and everything is connected with our main file, and main file is just working and just listening. Okay, wow. We have just to get our data from our user route, and this is external. This is in the external file in the module slash user routes, and we have just connected this file with app.use. That's why this use means we are using whenever we need to use middlewares, we need to use this use method from Express. So app.has, so Express this initializer dot has a use method that we can pass like this slash. That means now whenever we hit slash, so this slash means this is our just base URL, but whenever we are just hitting, okay, it's Ctrl+J slash user slash profile, it is connected with in our just app file or index file. Whenever we whenever user access to go this route, and the server response, this response, you can pass any type of data in here, and the server just or user just will understand, or they will get whatever they need. So whenever user hit this this route or endpoint, then they are just getting this response. Okay, so for now, suppose we have user related file in the list, a lot of files for just user related routes, like user related dot get, then user routes dot post for create user slash API or anything else slash user slash create. You know, post method is not working on the browser. We need to this testing client like Postman or Insomnia. So this is not our purpose. So if we have just multiple endpoint in the file, and if we write like controller related codes and route related codes in the same file, then our file size will be just increaser, and this is not also best practice. So what is actually the best practice? So the best practices are if we create this controllers related this code in the separate file, and if we import this file in here, that will be just exact what we need. Okay, so response.json, I'm getting the suggestion, but if you use this, then you will not get suggestion. So this is the extra this percentage or this plus point for you, that you are using TypeScript. So from initially you should use TypeScript. It is nothing. It is just nothing. It will give you just better performance, better benefits as a developer. Okay. So just where we will just remove it from here. Control X, and in our file we'll create export. Okay, just const create user is equals to now request. We need to define types. This request from Express, also response, this response also from this second parameter will get response. Okay, it is also from Express. And now we are just creating an arrow function, and just return. It will just return and response.json message a web code. And now our controller code is just clean, but in our routes we have not import our file. So if we try to get data, it is not get method. Okay, it is get method, but we are not getting anything else from here. That is because our controller is created, or file is separated, but we need to import it here. Like, okay, so we will change it to get user, not create user. Okay, make sure that your file name, your folder name, it is structured and just understandable. That is because you need to understand, and if other developer work with you, then they will easily understand and gives you a better benefits. Okay, get user, will import it here. Get user. Okay, this is just a function that equals just a callback function. Okay, this controller is nothing. This is a callback function of this function. This function in the first parameter we have just set just our routes, our endpoints. So whenever we hit this endpoints, then this callback function will be called, and this callback function will just get request response, and this request response will just define manually this request response, because it will just not get type safety manually. That's why we have just imported type. And now this request response we have passed from here. This is a callback function, and this callback function is get, and now it is all, everything is connected. Just refresh. Okay, it is working. Change any type of data. A web code is creating server. Please subscribe. Okay, so just for fun, so don't worry guys, I'll try to just make everything is very easier. Okay, so it is just working. So our routes are clean. So suppose we have lot of functionality, lot of codes, our controller is clean. We can manage controller in the single file, or we can get multiple file if we have a lot of controllers or callbacks for accessing routes. And so it's called just, we can call them just controllers that control our business logics. Okay, this is routes. That's, we have set our endpoint, and this is a callback to access data and write our business logic and how to user exactly get or post or anything else. We'll validate our data like that. And whenever we hit this slash API slash user slash profile, then it is just working. But we can use prefix like API. Okay, slash API. Whenever user hit this slash API, and you can see here we have use this use method, not get, post or delete put or any method in here. This is use method. That's why this is a middleware. We are using it is as a middleware, not anything. We have set our methods in here in the routes file, and we are connected with our just main file in this main app. Okay, so whenever user hit slash API slash user slash profile, then this route will be called, and in this route this is just listening a controller, and in the controller we have just set some like message as JSON and a web code is just creating server. Okay, check it out. Okay, this is our endpoint, but our endpoint is the sense slash API slash user profile. Okay, you can add like any prefix of your URL in here, slash API slash v1 slash anything else that you can add in here slash. So it will be just added. This prefix will be added every of your just base, every of your just suffix. This is suffix and this is just prefix. Okay, this is just prefix of your URL, and it will be just reflected of your every URL of this user routes. So suppose you need to create multiple routes in here, so slash user slash create register login, then you must use slash API slash user slash register slash user slash API slash user slash login like that. Okay, so this is simple. So this is our controller connected with our file in the routes, and our routes is just connected in the main file. But here we have also a problem. Let's see, that is, suppose this is our user controller routes, and we can create like user related modules in here, user related validation here, or anything else. Like our code is just understandable easily, anyone can easily will understand, and our working experience will be just increased, and it will save our time. So it is just code our clean and just well organized. Okay, so for now, suppose this is user route, and we have multiple routes called user routes and like chat routes, product routes, blog routes, or anything else like review routes, or lot of routes we need, lot of modules we need. So then we need create like that. We need prefix. We need just add same prefix or any type of prefix in the multiple place, and this is just making our main file is just making this longer and garbage collected or collection. So how we can solve it? So we can solve it to create a index route in here, or index.routes.ts. okay, index.route.ts in the module, or you can create it in any directory. Okay, and we will see how we can just organize our related codes. So first I'm just copy everything from here. Okay, paste it out, and here, okay, this is our user to main routes, main or base routes. Okay, so we no need to use app.use, just slash. Okay, app.use slash, we can add prefix in here, slash API slash user Okay, so you can add any prefix in here. So we'll see user routes. Okay, so this is our user routes. Now it is just connected with our base routes, and we need to import our base routes in here. Base routes bottom. Okay, just import it. So whenever user hit, so suppose we have a lot of routes in here, like /user, like user related routes, like chat product related routes, or any type of, like we have just 10 type of modules, and every modules has their own routes. So then we can just easily handle our base route, like base router.use. We are not using any method, any just running method like get, post, put, delete. We are using this as a middleware, like that. We are using this as a middleware, and we have imported it in our main file. But in this case, it is not required. This is not required. So you can do whatever you want. Nothing is required here. So it is just making our code is just well organized and structured, and nothing. So it will be just first time it can be just complex for you, but believe me, if you just understand the core concept, and if you write code well organized from the beginning, then your next journey, next goal, and if you clear that just basic concept, your next goal in web development will be easier as a backend developer or a full stack developer, whatever you will be. Okay, so now whenever user will hit this /API /user related, like this is our prefix of our routes or endpoints, or and this is whenever user hit /API /user. Now again here /user/profile /API /user/profile, and you can add like any type of prefix. So now, like suppose you have API, so I'm not adding anything to this complex API. Okay, /API /user, okay, /user/profile. But it is not, nothing is required in here. Okay, we'll remove it. We can add this /star, and we can add here like /API. Our API is version 1. This is not required. You can change it to any name. You can change this API URL, but to any name. Make sure that this URL is your prefix of your base endpoint /API /v1. This is our base endpoint. This is our base endpoint, and now we are in our base routes. It is a /. Now we are in here. So /API /v1. That means we are in here. We can listen in here. Okay. So this is user route, like this is chat routes. No need this route in here. /user /API /v1, and this is on this v1 route. Now we are navigating to /API /v1 /user/profile. Then this controller will be called, and we'll get this data here. API /v1 /user/profile. Wow, it is working. It is working. How good is that? So what we have done. So first, we have created our server. So this is our server with one. After that, we have created we have imported Express. We have initialized Express app, and you can give it to say change app to any name. Just we have set our environment variable, or this port number. You can keep it on this env variable to pass it dynamically. And in our base endpoint, it is just listening that server 0 is running. So this is our base route or endpoint that this this function is just listening, and whenever user will hit this route, then we are sending a response that server is up and running. Okay, so we are using a middleware with our related routes in here. So in our modules we have created like user routes. This is our user related routes we will keep here, and this is controller or callback, and in this callback we have defined our just business logic, or what the user exactly will be able to get. And in our route file we have just imported our controller in here, and we have set our endpoints or just routes. You can change it, this route name, to any name, but you can add multiple nested route slash user slash profile slash test or anything else. You can add nested route slash, you can keep it just single user or anything else, whatever you want. And it is just connected with our base route, and base route is just nothing. Base route is just slash, and it is nothing. And on our index.ts file we are just listening or this base route, and in the base route we have connected with our multiple routes called like user related routes, chat related routes, product related routes. So everything is connected in here, and our base route is connected with our main file, and main file prefix is API/v1. So whenever user hit on the browser /API like localhost 5000, it is listening on 5000. You can change also this port, also you can change it to any port. So whenever you just hit /API/v1, okay, so /API/v1, that means this is the prefix, and this then this middleware is calling. And in the middleware also here we have nothing on this route called API/v1, and it is just listening this. It is just listening this, and after that it is just finding what we have after that /API/v1/v1/user, and this user route, this user endpoint has this controller, and this controller is just returning as a message, as just this one response called this name, a web code is creating server. Okay, message, this we can, okay, remove it, message, okay, this is, now it is correct. Okay, and whenever we will hit /API/v1, our endpoint is /user. Oh, it is working, working. So first of all, this is our server. We have used to create user module. In user module we have created route. So first we will create controller and our related business logic, then we will create routes, related routes, get, post, put method, or anything else. After that we can add just a prefix of our routes. And suppose we have user routes dot post /user. Okay, this is also /user, and now in this case it is just listening another file called create user. Okay, create user method or anything else. It is just listening another method or another controller, but this method is different, but their route is similar, so it will just work. Okay, now dot post. Here without doing this, you can add like here. So like your main prefix or main route is this, or main route is this, and whenever user will be just get, then this function will be called, and this function will be execute and return response from this controller. And suppose we have this get method, post method, we can pass create user. So on the same route, this is post method. Whenever user hit on the post method, then they will be just exactly will be listen this controller. and this will be not affected. Okay, this is just different. Okay, so this is our just I tried to make it just easily for you. I have just explained everything step by step. So you should not use multiple routes in your main file, and we can also keep it in our base index. Okay, like that. We're keeping our base routes dot get base routes dot get routes dot get. Oh, okay. That means this is on the slash directory. This is nothing. Okay, in index file. So on our, if we try to access slash local 5000, it is nothing. But if we try to access slash API slash a1, okay, server is up and running. This server is from this response is from this base route. Okay, slash API slash v1, then it is just listening this. But it's but our routes is trying to access multiple our this URL is trying to access multiple these routes in here, but we have not set any route prefix for this. That's why it is just getting this. But if we add like slash API v1, so this is also getting on the same directory. So this is also okay in user controller index controller. This is also getting on the slash directory, and this is also getting. So how it will be? Okay, in our past route, it is slash API v1 slash. Also it is slash. So this is the past route. That's why it is working. And if we okay, add this before this user routes, then maybe it will work. Okay, so this is the core concept, and they are just order is you can maintain, but most of the time you will no need to maintain your order, because you will not use the same directory, same route for accessing multiple routes. Okay, so for now, so this is our simple app, and you can test it out. I will create a GitHub repository. First of all, I'm going to create a GitHub repository. Just close my server. So is there any garbage collection in here? Not, but we can add a simple file in here. Server is up and running. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to just open my GitHub. So github.com/ okay, github.com/ a web port, maybe an internet issue. Try to access ChatGPT. Okay, it is not working. Maybe some internet issue. By the way, I will push my code, and I will show it GitHub repository URL on the description. You will easily find, and you can just clone this code, and you can just look at my GitHub file, and you can create your own server and test it out, and you can just cover my full video and what I am just actually doing, and why I have just created multiple file folder without doing in the same folder or same file. So this is the video, and on the next video we will improve this. We'll create our post route. We'll connect with our MongoDB database. We can first we will use Mongoose library for connecting with MongoDB, and after that we'll switch Prisma. We'll see the benefit of using Prisma without using Mongoose for handling MongoDB database. Okay, follow me, and if you forget to subscribe, please subscribe. It just gives me a lot of inspiration, and don't forget to comment section, and that is because I'll get a lot of benefits, a lot of inspire, and this is my strength forward.